Доктор Жан-Филипп является юристом, который специализируется в сфере получения гражданства и вида на жительство в Европе, а также в сфере налогового планирования. Он играл ключевую роль в создании и развитии программы Мальтийского гражданства и резидентства через инвестиции. Он также предоставляет консультации российским семьям и бизнесменам по вопросам иммиграции на Мальту и Кипр. В течение 15 лет работы над более чем 1500 заявлениями на гражданство и вид на жительство он добился стопроцентного успеха. Он стал первым на Мальте аккредитованным агентом с лицензией IP1 и получил право от государственного агентства Identity Malta подавать заявления в соответствии с программой получения гражданства через инвестиции на Мальте. В 2016 году он стал первым одобренным агентом в знак признания достигнутых фирмой высоких результатов в работе с заявлениями на получение гражданства. Опираясь на ваш личный опыт в вопросах предоставления гражданства и вида на жительство нашим клиентам, какие основные плюсы для семей из России и стран СНГ?
Malta is a member of the European Union since 2004. Malta also joined the Eurozone in 2008, and therefore a Maltese national is able to travel to the European Union, settle in the European Union, live, work, reside, do business, study in the European Union like all other nationals, citizens of the European Union.
В соответствии с европейским законодательством, каково положение Мальтийской программы для индивидуальных инвесторов?
In matters of citizenship and nationality, every member of the European Union has its own competence, without any interference of the European institutions. Having said that, because Malta is part of the European Union, the grant of citizenship to any non-Europeans needs to be done within the spirit of the European Treaty, in that it has the indirect effect of granting all the rights of European citizens on the basis of holding a Maltese passport. What has secured Malta's approval as a citizenship programme is that it has required a one-year genuine link test, which requires individuals applying for citizenship to show that for at least 1 year they have been genuinely connected with Malta in a way that they deserve to be granted citizenship.
Какие плюсы имеет гражданин Мальты в плане мобильности и путешествий?
Well, as Maltese nationals, we are able to travel to more than 168 countries without requiring a visa. This includes the United States, Canada, and the UK. Malta is also part of the Schengen Treaty and the Schengen area, and therefore holding a Maltese residence card enables us to travel within the Schengen area without any visa restrictions.
Чем привлекательна мальтийская система образования для семей из России и стран СНГ?
In Malta, we have a very established public school system, as well as a number of private schooling options, which follow the international baccalaureate system of education. We have a very long-standing tradition in tertiary education, with the University of Malta being one of the oldest in Europe. Most English as well as American universities are also represented here, so one can actually study at American and English universities whilst actually living in Malta. Actually, English is the official language of instruction in Malta, and therefore all education is conducted in English, except for the Maltese language, which is of course taught in Maltese.
Каковы преимущества мальтийского здравоохранения для граждан?
In recent years, the Maltese government has actually invested a lot to attract medical tourism. In fact, the General Hospital of Malta has been rebuilt in the last 15 years so that we have a state-of-the-art hospital. The medical system is actually free for Maltese nationals, but it is of such a high standard that it attracts foreigners seeking specialist medical interventions in Malta. The Maltese health system has been ranked top 5 by the World Health Organization.
Расскажите, пожалуйста, подробнее об инвестициях, необходимых для получения мальтийского паспорта.
The overall process to obtain a Maltese passport takes a total of 12 months. No investment is required at the outset. Upon receipt of approval, after 4 months of processing time, within the 1-year time frame, one then needs to go ahead and make a contribution of 650,000 euros for the main applicant, with much smaller amounts of 25,000 or 50,000 for additional spouse, dependents, or even the parents of the applicant. On top of the contribution, one must also invest €150,000 in Maltese government bonds, which do give a reasonable rate of return, as well as an investment or rental in property in Malta to be kept for at least 5 years, spending at least €16,000 in rent every year, or investing at least €350,000 in a property.
Опишите, пожалуйста, процесс получения мальтийского паспорта.
Before an applicant committing and starting the process of applying for citizenship, as a law firm, it is our duty to conduct the first level of due diligence. This is a process that ensures that the client doesn't spend time, money, and resources on a process without having an opinion on whether he is eligible or not. Once we apply our experience to the facts of our client and we confirm that he is eligible for citizenship, we start the process rolling. The whole process from that moment onwards takes 12 months. Within 12 months, an applicant not only receives his approval but also receives his passports. The first step is to start this 12-month period, and that starts with the issue of residence cards. To obtain residency, one must come physically to Malta for at least 1 day. Only the main applicant must come to Malta. If the spouse or children or even parents of either the spouse or the main applicant want a residence card as well, they can also come with the main applicant and apply for residency. The residence cards are issued fast track because this is a VIP service. Within 2 to 3 weeks at most, the residence cards are issued and the client doesn't need to wait for them to be issued. We can actually send them to the client by courier. Within about 3 weeks, as a firm, we would have already completed the application file for citizenship and we would have filed a citizenship application. The processing time, including all the due diligence conducted and the background searches and all the checking by Identity Malta, takes a maximum of 4 months. So within 4 months, you actually know whether you have been approved for citizenship or not. Upon receiving that letter of in-principle approval, the applicant goes ahead and pays the contribution of €650,000. He has another 4 months to make the necessary investments in property and government bonds. But in total, there is ample time because the total process takes anyway 12 months, and it is only upon completing the 12-month time frame of residency in Malta that the client will receive an invitation to come to Malta to take the oath of allegiance. And in our experience, the timeframes have been observed quite rigorously by Identity Malta. Any minor delays within maybe the 4-month processing time are in reality absorbed within the 1-year waiting time anyway that one has as a resident of Malta.